All right. So done. Okay. So you want me to show this one more time? Then probably 1 second. Okay. So I have one line. I'm showing the tool, which is your bevel tool. Okay. Sorry, what bevel? Sorry. Blend tool. Okay. Just select one line. I've drawn one line normal with a bezier 2-point curve and 2-point line. And same tool, I'm going to draw another line down here. Just try to increase the width of the line from here. Once I've increased the width of the line, what you can do is you can use this blend tool option to drag. Uh, Anushka, last to last lecture, it was only theory, so I haven't really uploaded it. Last lecture, if you need me to upload it, I can do that. Okay, and drop it up here. Okay, so what am I creating is I've created a blender steps. Yeah, no problem. So I've created a blender steps from the lighter version to the darker version, and series of the two objects are being shown to me. Okay, now suppose I want to change the color of any one, just pick the one where you want to change the color, right click from here to anywhere in the control colors which you like. So what has happened is it's starting from black and it's going to say purple. Okay, let me just change this color also, maybe starting from red and going up till purple, right? Okay, now I don't like this gap, बीच में बहुत gap है. Can we make this gap like a non-continuous kind of a gap? Can we do something for that? So simply select everything. There is a blend steps option. The more the number of steps, the more continuous it will look. Check. I'm increasing the number of steps. And after a while, when you make them too many, observe what is happening. It's actually creating a gradient for you. Okay, so probably say for example at 150 or so, if I just change the color steps, it look like a very continuous gradient. Say 250. Can you see this? There's hardly any gap or deviation, and it looks like a proper gradient effect. Okay, right from red to purple. So yeah, you can actually add this kind of a effect in the blend mode, and this is one of the most interesting things about blend mode. Okay, you can do this with any shape. It's not necessary you'll do it with line only. If suppose for example I want to change this style, I can simply go about with this. I can change the style effect from here. Suppose for example I'm starting with a circle, so I'll first start with a circle, maybe for example one of them here, and let's say for example after a while I need this circle to become a polygon. So here is another polygon. Okay, fine. I want to see the effect of how it blends from circle to polygon. So from circle to polygon. Okay, now you will find this interesting because the first tool that you selected was a circle one. So let's say for example, I'm just selecting the very first pick. I'm changing the color, say for example to whichever color you like. You can just pick it up if you want to from here. Otherwise, you always have a fill color option from there. You can go and you can pick whatever color you want. Okay, I believe we have done this before also. If you want to add your own colors, see here are some preset colors. So you can choose from here also. You can choose them from here also. Just simply right click on the color that you like. Okay, so as of right now, I just done that with the shadow to show you that even shadows can change colors. If you want to add like a proper fill color, you can do that from here as well. Suppose for example, I'm making it pink. Okay, so let me just select one outline and change the color. You can see how the blend has happened from this color to this color all the way. So it becomes really simple. Also, you transform this tool. Suppose for example, reduce the size, and you can see that the blend is actually reducing the size throughout. You can rotate this, transform this, increase, decrease the size of this, and its effect will automatically be visible throughout. So basically, what is important is the first and the last stage, and series of those colors or series of those effects will be shown, right? This is very useful for creating any kind of shape or effect between the tools. So that's one of the good things about it. Clear? Okay, so that can also be done with a blend tool. If you want to try lesser number of steps, you always have an option to reduce the number of steps, and you'll be able to see the transformation of the shapes. So how did this get converted to this? You can see the series of the steps that this Corel Draw has taken. You mentioned 3 steps, it's giving you 3. You can increase the number of steps. Okay, and accordingly the number of steps will increase and you can see the difference, right? Okay, so now blend can be used for anything. You can use it for 2D, you can use it for 3D, you can use it anywhere. You can also tweak and turn around with the blend. Suppose for example, I want to rotate this one like this. you're free to do that. You can maybe try out from the midpoint also. You can try out, okay, if I don't like this line, I want the curve to go a little bit more in the other direction. You can just maybe change the way in which your blend is appearing. As of right now, it's even blend because you kept the blend center in the middle. Okay, you can always tweak around. I can keep it at the extreme corner, and you can see, lesser number of blends have happened, and this is blank area. Similarly, if I keep it more towards this side, you will see a deviation. So how exactly you want the blends to be, you can use that as well, right? Okay, you want a clockwise blend, you want anti-clockwise blend. So if there are two shapes, you want it to move clockwise to this direction, you can do that also. So these are all just couple of more options. The best way is, as I mentioned, try it out and you will be able to learn how it goes. Okay, this is Corel Draw or any software is all about experimentation. Try out the various things which are possible, and you'll be able to create great results. Okay, so yeah, that's one of the things in Blend which you can try out. Okay, I'll show you one more example. I'll just show you one more example. Suppose, for example, I'll draw a simple square. Okay, up here. I'm just taking the rectangle tool. I'm drawing a normal, very, very basic square. Okay, you can duplicate this by just doing Control C, Control V. Okay, so what I'll do is, copy, paste. Okay, so I think there is one more blend up here. Okay, so post this, what you need to do. You created a this, and let me just change the color of one of them. Not fill color, but maybe just the outline color from here. This is actually changing the fill. One sec. Yeah. So there are two shapes, just verifying that, and outline color I just need to change. One sec. Here I am. Outline pen color to say this color. Click OK. So you can see there's one color here and the other color up there. Now what you need to do, you need to select both of them. Okay, select both of them and simply go to effects. So here you'll find effects, correct? Okay, from here also you have an option called as blend. So you click on this one and it will open a blend docker for you. This is a blend docker. Okay, let me just reduce the size. Okay, so this is the blend docker tool. It will give you all the options which are available on the top and some extra options as well. Okay, so you're simply, what you can do is you can just reduce the size of one of them, not both. Okay, let me just select any one and maybe reduce the size. Just a second now. Yeah, see, this kind of an effect I wanted to show you. Okay, there is a blend effect in the middle and I'm just reducing the size of any one of the shapes. Okay, I can do one more thing up here. I can overall just, try to reduce the size. Okay, just selecting any one and reducing the size. Okay, move this in the center. And you can see I've created a kind of 3D-ish effect. I can reduce the size of this a little more to get a little more depth in the image. Okay, if you want lesser number of steps, sure, you can try that out as well. Okay, try to get a lesser number of steps will give you like a little more halo effect up here. So you can try out multiple things up here. As of right now, there are 20 steps. You can see this. I can reduce the number of steps. Just need to select the entire thing first. One second. Okay, move this in the center of the object and then try to reduce the number of steps. So maybe 10. Okay, probably while creating the blend I should try to do that. uh, Wait, there'll surely be an option otherwise also. I mean, what if I don't want to? One thing, increase is also not happening. Why? Okay, not clicked on apply. Really sorry, my bad. When you change this, you click on apply to save the effect. Okay, so I forgot clicking on apply and it wasn't getting applied. So yeah, here I have a reduced number of steps and you can apply and you can see blend effect 50 steps, right? Am I clear with this? More kind of trick up here. Okay, one sec. Yeah, one sec. Let me just maybe keep this like 10 and apply. So you can see these as 10, right? Okay. Now select the same pattern again. Try to reduce the size of the lowermost square. That's the last square which you have on the series up here. Okay, make this like little more less. And put this in like the center, extreme center, like the midpoint. Yeah. Okay. This actually looks like a 3D pyramid from top. Okay. So yeah, that's one of the things. And we'll try to put a rotate. Try a rotate. Okay. So up here, usually, you find options like changing the size, changing the width, and all of that. But if you find an option called as rotate, it will be great. So I think in the blend docker itself, no, we don't have it in the blend docker. Try out elsewhere. One sec. Mm-mm. Yeah, here is it rotate percentage. So let me just keep this like say 180 and check. 180 is not making a difference. Maybe 45. Okay, good. Let's try something else. You can rotate up to 360. Okay, any number of degrees. So maybe say 270. You can see this kind of an effect you have got. Okay, actually rotating the blend, not keeping a direct blend. You're actually twisting a bit. So yeah, this is also a good idea to try out. Okay, however you want to go about with it. And even the bigger most square, you can twist with this also. Say, okay, now don't do both as 270, 270, it will not look good. Maybe 45 up here and 270. So it's like a blend. Now put colors to make this look like genuinely good. So this is like the outermost keep it like red, and innermost maybe lightish pink, right? Remove the outlines, it will look really nice. Okay, maybe because of the outlines it's looking a little bit of shady, but if you remove the outline colors, like no outline, there's a cross option to remove the outline if you want to remove it. Okay, and try out that effect. Okay, I hope blend is clear to everybody. Is the blend option fine? Can I move to the next option? Yes, great. Okay, so I think we've done blend. Let's try the other one. The other one is contour tool. Contour tool is basically it will add a parallel bounding shape to your main shape. Okay, wherein what you want to do is you want to look at different settings which can help you to achieve different contour types, and I discuss how you can use that. Okay, so it's basically appearing the second most option in the effects. So after blend, you will find here is contour. Okay, so this is a contour property bar wherein it will help you to create a offset distance. Now there are three types of contours. There is contour which is to center, to inside, and to outside. I'll explain it to you once I show you some text or something I can show. So let's say for example here I am just writing down text here. Okay, just kind of increasing the size and this so that it's visible. Suppose this, just making it say this big. Okay, so that the text is visible to everybody. Okay, so you got text here, a very simple text. So not necessarily you will have to be within the artboard itself. You can go outside the artboard and do your work. It's completely okay. Corel Draw has no problem as such कि आपको इसी के अंदर जाके you'll have to make the effect. You can make it anyhow you want to go about with it. Okay, so let's say for example I've just written like text here up here. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to apply a contour effect to this one and understand how it gets applied. So what I'll do is instead of the blend tool this time, I'll choose contour tool, which is the second most tool available here. Okay, select this one. And you can see that when I move my contour tool, otherwise it's saying a cross sign, means I can't apply it up here. But when I move it towards the text, that cross sign goes away. That means I can apply it on this object, right? Now there are 3 types of contours you can try out, which is inner, outer, how you want to do it. So if I drag it inside, I'm doing an inner contour. If I drag it outside, I'm doing it an outer contour. Let me just show it to you. Suppose I drag it. See, you can see this the effect that is happening. I'm dragging it inside, okay, or I'm dragging it outside. correct? So it's actually getting a contour effect on the top. Now, I will not understand this effect unless and until I actually look at the properties option. So from the properties, I can edit the contour, and then it will look a little more, decently applied. Okay. Let's say for example, I want to apply a very simple contour effect on this one. So I'll select the type, which one I want. I want inside, I want center, or I want outside. Now, what do you mean by center? Contours which are created exactly at a distance to the center. For example, you want to make something that looks auto calculative, or something that you want to use every possible space even within the text. So then what you do is you use to center. Okay. So here you can't mention the steps because it's actually in the center. Okay. But if it's inside contour or outside contour, you can go and mention the number of steps also, like you did it in the blend type. Okay. Wherein you are mentioning the number of steps to get a effect within the text, or you want the effect outside the text. So in my case, let me just select as of right now as contour type as inside. Okay. All right. Let me just do Control Z. Contour type is inside. Okay. Then counter steps. So you can choose how many number of steps you want. Okay. Now you will say, ma'am, I can't really see any effect. That's because you not set a color yet. Once I set a color, you will be able to see the effects as well. Just a second. Not getting applied yet. Okay. Contour steps 9. Because the offset is too big. 0.5. Now try 9. Yeah, works. Okay. So I reduce the offset size, and I reduce the contour steps here to 9. Okay. Now I'm changing the corner. You can choose 3 types of corners again. There's miltered corner, round corner, or bevel corners. Again, do this with shapes to get the exact effect. Okay. And outline color and fill color. Now this is important. Fill color, say red. And you can see what has happened, red color. And outside of that is a black color effect. This is exactly what contour does. Okay, so you can actually go and you can change this. Right now I have said within the text, so I'm getting effect inside. If I would have said outside the text, I would get the effect outside. Understanding? You can choose how the effect you want it to be. Okay, inside or outside. Here is the outline color. So let's keep a little outline color to go with red. Say pink will, but will you be able to see the difference? I'm not very sure. So I haven't really set it. So it'll give you either this effect if it's outside, or if it's inside contour, it will give you this effect, right? If it steps, this is exactly in the center. So the red effect that you've applied on the contour will get applied exactly in the center, or inside, or outside, depending on how you want the effect to show up to you, right? Okay, so this is on text. If I'm applying a part of text, I can actually try out other effects also. Like for example, let's say I'll just retype some text. Let me just say like text 2, for example, and increase this again to a higher size. This is Arial right now. I may keep this like Coral. This one, just increase the size to say 100 or something. So you can see this is text 2, and I want to apply some other kind of contour. So let me just try it out. So again, just select contour up here and choose work on this. Okay, directly you can work on this. You don't need to even select this option here. Okay, so let's say for example, this time I'll say I want contour type as inside. It's inside only right now. One step only I'll keep. I'll not change the steps. I'll change the offset. I'll change this offset to say 1. Okay, again, until I apply a color, you will not be able to see anything. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll apply a fill color as say white. Sorry, white effect. Okay, so you can see what I've done is I've given a kind of outline. So I don't want a text color. I actually want the outline of the text only. So many places you find only outline of the text, and piche ka background of the text should be visible outside. So you are actually doing that using contour tool, right? Okay, and you can fill the fill color, outline color to whichever outline you want. Okay, if you want a certain outline color like red or pink, you can choose this, and that kind of effect will be applied. So this is again another effect or example of contour. So I've done this one and this one both with the contour tool, right? Okay, usually if you want to add an extra shading effect to something, you can use the contour tool as well. Correct? Am I clear with this tool? Yes, are we clear? Is there a doubt? Thanks, Anushka. Thank you so much for being the first person to reply. I was actually waiting. Thanks, Muskan and Rupal. Great. Great. So I think this is fine. We've tried this out. Let's just try out some other tools, ma'am. We understand these two. These two are very basic tools. Can we look at something else? So I'll use distort tool. The next tool on the list is distort tool. Again, I'm just going through this effects panel. Okay, because these are all basic tools, ellipse tool and rectangle tool and star tool, polygon tool. You can easily make these spiral tool and all of that. But what is difficult, a little more difficult, is using these effects. So we'll try to use simple effects on this. Let me just first draw a circle. Okay, and let me try to distort. So now see, when you do distort now, where your hand moves from your mouse towards which direction is very important. Okay, from outside if you move it, from outside if you move your mouse, you can see this kind of a distortion happening. Okay, you can actually set up and you can see this was the original shape. Okay, this is the original shape. I'm moving it outside from the circle and you can see that there is a kind of effect drift. Okay, if I move it within the circle, one second. Sorry, Rupal, keeping you on mute. Okay, so just moving through the distort option, selecting this one and moving it inside, and you can see that there is an effect change, and you can also move it outside to see an effect change. Right? Okay, so you can actually make shapes from this. Okay, a good one, actual blend, or if you want to make like a proper ellipse by use of distort, use from the center and throw it out. See, you'll get a kind of kite shape. Okay, like something like this, diamondish shape. This is also a good shape to try. Otherwise, take this and move it like this. This is like a floral shape if you want to make something out of it, and you can simply add colors to this as well. Okay, and simply once you created one effect and you like this, you can like copy paste the same effect again. Okay, yeah, and simply rotate it to say 45 degrees maybe. You got another this, and now what you can do, remove the outlines. I don't like the outlines. You can just be like, change the color, whichever color you want to keep, or you don't want to keep, so keep the width as none. That will mean no outline. Similarly, up here also you can just make it like no outline if you want to. It's a very simple example of this. You can try more in this also if you want to. Okay, and just maybe center it with a say circle to give it a complete effect of a flower or something like that. So suppose, for example, just making this, say, just moving it in the exact center. Try to get it in the center. Okay, so yeah, you can definitely increase the size. I was just doing a very basic thing, right? Okay, to get one flower. Now, what you can do is, I have created this with normal distort. Try to use more distort to get more complex tools. Like, for example, just a second, let me just, okay, so now this is one, and I'll use distort, and from the center, I can move wherever I want. Suppose something like this. Correct, to get a perfect petal. Okay, not only petals but anything, like any shape you want to make, like I made it a kind of diamond, and then I can create types to that diamond, copy paste this at places. You can use blend tool also. Now that you know it, you can just move this from one place to another place and it will be like a good effect also. Okay, so yeah, you can make this more perspective also, however you want to do it. This is all using the distort tool, so you wouldn't even imagine that they started with a circle. Okay, so is the distort tool clear? Simple it is. Yes. Great. Great. So let me try out the other tools also. We've got two more extra tools up here. One is drop shadow. Okay, drop shadow is very simple. You want to apply a shadow to some object which you created. You can simply go and drag drop and do drop shadow. Okay, let me just show that to you. Suppose now this was the object. Okay, you can choose which kind of a shadow do you want it to apply. Suppose थोड़ा सा मुझे यहाँ पे shadow चाहिए. So like just drag it and उतने area का shadow it will create. Suppose I want a shadow here. Correct. However you want it, just simply drag it from the object to where you want the shadow to show up, and it will show you the shadow exactly there. Okay, you can also change the color of the shadows. If I don't like the color of this one to be this color, I can just go up here and be like, okay, I want a red shadow. So I get a red shadow effect. Similarly, on this one, suppose for example, I just want to add a shadow. I want to add a shadow here. Okay, now this is very thin for it to apply a shadow. Also, I understand, but yeah, okay. Let me just draw a normal rectangle and show it to you. So this is a normal rectangle with a normal color on it, and I'm trying to apply a shadow on this. So wait, let me just keep this black only. Okay, and drop shadow, drag and drop. I want the shadow to be say here, right? So it's basically showing you with the shadow, and you can change the color of the shadow if you want to. Just choose a color option from the color palette. Which color do you like? Suppose yellow. So yellow color, and here is the shadow. And now if I want to change the shadow color also, here I have an option. Go multiply, choose the color. Right? This basic drop shadow. I mean, you have done this even in Photoshop, I'm sure. We had done this in the blend tools, if you remember there also. And here also you have the blend tools, which are more or less similar. Few tools are not. So, you can use them. Correct? Okay, so drop shadow, I don't think there is any doubt with drop shadow. I'll quickly move to the next one. Wherever you feel there is a doubt, you can just write down on the chat. I'm having my eye on that. Okay, and let me try out something else for you. Suppose, for example, this is a square. I'm doing extrude next. I've drawn a small square. Okay, and going to this flyout up here and choose extrude. Choose extrude, drag and drop. Now, what does extrude do? Extrude will give you a 3D effect of the same box. Okay, I'm just extruding the box outside to get a 3D-ish effect. So it was a square earlier. Now it doesn't look like a square anymore. It looks like a rectangle, 3D. Okay, I can do the same thing with the circle also. Suppose, for example, here is a circle. I'm just drawing a normal circle. Okay, and I want the circle to not look like a circle but look like a tube. So give it a 3D effect using extrude. Drag it whichever side you want to. Suppose I want to drag it, say here, and you'll observe that this looks like a tube. It will not look like a circle anymore. Right? So this is one of the magics of using extrude tool. And then you have an option to drag it in a different direction if you want to, or change the type, change the nodes inside. You can modify or tweak around with this. Here you have some types also, like you want the extrude color, which color you want it to extrude. Now again, you'll have to set the node colors of both of them like you did it in Rebel, and you can get an extrude color as well. Okay, so try out with these options also. How do you rotate your extrude, or how do you go about with it? Suppose here is an option to go about with rotating it. I'll just select how I want my extrude to be, and automatically it will apply that extrude effect to you. See, okay, so I was just simply rotating. See, look, make this like straight, and you can see the effect has come. Correct? This is like the way in which you can rotate. Correct? Am I clear with the extrude tool? Now this is actually like looking like a hollow tube, 3D tube in which you can pass objects. Are we clear? See, all these now, they are very, very useful tools. And any part. Okay, suppose for example, if I want to go about with text, I want to go about with designing a logo, all of those things, Corel Draw is really helpful. Now, coming back to our topic, we had a portfolio, if you remember, which you need to design of your own. Okay, for which I mentioned that you have to use any 4 artworks, right? Okay, any 4 artworks can be on Photoshop, can be on Corel Draw, can be on any other 2 software. Now, you are almost very near to the end of the second module, wherein Corel Draw, the main topics which are there in Corel Draw, if you just check through your text, I'll also open it up for you later on, is using text, using effects, using the toolbar. So more or less we are covering, or more or less trying to get through all of the topics. Okay, what I want you to do is start working on a portfolio. Okay, maybe through Photoshop if you're comfortable with Photoshop, or through Corel Draw if you're comfortable with Corel Draw. Use any software. Start making one logo, and things resembling that logo. Like for example, can be brochure for that logo. What else can you do? Visiting card. Try to make such kind of things in Photoshop and CorelDRAW and send me your artworks. Now the number of artworks which I've so far got in CorelDRAW are really less. I will expect you guys to please work on CorelDRAW and send me your artworks from CorelDRAW as well. It's very simple. You can go and export it to any format you want. Suppose, let me just show it to you. From file, go save as final JPEGs. Once we've given you the software options, you can try them if you can get it on your laptop. If not, there's no problem. Okay, here are some options in which you can transform your CorelDRAW files. You can transform it to PDF and send me the PDF file. And you have CorelDRAW if you want to transform it to CorelDRAW. You have many other options in which you can transform your files like CDR, Adobe Illustrator files. So, this time when you're sending it to me, you want to send it in PDF, you can send it in PDF also. I have no issue. Okay, so try to send it in PDF or in some other form, wherever form you want to go about with it. Right? Okay, so just file, save as. You'll have advanced options also if you want to try those out, and just click on save to save the artwork. Okay, are we clear? Yes, so with that, coming to the end of this lecture, thanks for joining in. We will be having class in the next week. Try to work on your CorelDRAW effects and tools. And if you have any queries, you can just drop back to Rupal or connect to me. I will definitely revert back to you guys. Yeah, Chandni, I'll do that. I'll work on that today itself. I'll try to work on it. Send it to you. Okay? Yeah. Fine. Thank you. Bye-bye.